Hey fam, let's talk about arguments. Why? Well, to be honest, Maureen and I have found that our faith and our lives and our outlook on life and our philosophies of the world play a big role in how we argue and why we argue. So, this video is going to basically be about arguing to find solutions rather than arguing to win. And that may be a new idea, and maybe not, but I think it's really important that we talk about this. So, some experience first. I am the kind of person that loves to argue. I want to be there. I want to make sure that my voice is heard. Any of you that know me are very aware of this. So, how does this play into daily life? How does this play into people who I have relationship with in a good and a bad way? Well, again, I'm going to start with my marriage. So, Maureen and I have argued, of course, which couple doesn't? But one thing that I realized very early on after our wedding was that it really makes a difference how us as a married couple approaches a problem. Of course, we have two different perspectives. We're two different people. So, I decided when I argue with Maureen, I'm going to make sure that, first of all, what we're arguing about really does matter. It's not some petty thing. And second of all, the argument is going to be about finding a solution to the problem that both of us are having, rather than me winning the argument. Okay, so what does that look like on the ground? Well, let's give an example. So Maureen and I go somewhere and I say something that she felt was inappropriate or was not okay to say, or maybe was out of place, maybe I was being rude. In the moment, it just passes. She doesn't say anything, but then afterwards we talk about it. I'm like, I think that I should be able to say how I feel about whatever thing. Maureen says, well, realistically, what you say and how you act affects both of us, and I don't think it was okay how you responded to that situation at that friend's house or at that party or whatever. I think about it and realize, you know what, she's actually right. Like, I can argue till the cows come home that I want to be who I am, and I want to let my voice be heard, and all of this stuff. But the fact of the matter is, she's right that the way I approached the issue, the way I approached the situation, was not okay. Maybe I should have listened before I just jumped in and gave my opinion. And maybe I should have let her speak first, because probably, like usual, she had a better way of dealing with that situation. So that example was a little vague, but I hope it gives some kind of light onto how we get through that kind of argument. So working it out between husband and wife. The second thing is arguing with people at my job. Okay, I work with teachers, right? Every teacher has their own approach, their own way of teaching, their own way of doing things. I personally feel like it is really, really important to learn how to accommodate in that situation. I try to be very careful about arguments that I pick with other teachers, or like bones to pick or issues, because it's very easy in a school setting for things to become very like confrontational and very negative, with a lot of negative feedback because of personality. I think what is more important is to realize in this kind of situation, we should rather remember why we're there. We're there to help kids become better people. So make and help kids become better people, to learn how to communicate with respect, to learn how to argue when it matters, not argue all the time. Again, to argue to find solutions, not to win. And I think this is something in our culture, in our day-to-day life, whether we're Christian or not, that is very much a problem today. So often we read things, the media that we look at, people that we look up to, celebrities, are all about winning. They're all about themselves. And basically that's totally anti-gospel, and it's totally anti-faith. And it's also just anti-making the world a better place. So I choose to believe that when I argue, and of course I don't do this all the time because I'm a human being and I make mistakes, I intend to argue to find a solution. So I hope that makes sense. And let's see what Maureen has to say about the subject. But I'd be really interested to see and hear what you guys have to say about argument, what kind of fights you feel are worth dying on the hill for, as they say. And the last thing I would like to say is, above all else, if you're a person of faith, if you believe in a higher power, let that guide what you argue about or care about. Because a lot of things that you feel strongly about, maybe you'll realize are not that important. Or the other way around, maybe you'll realize what things really are important and are worth arguing for and fighting for. So have a good day, and that's just the snippet of thought from us to you.